I'm back with the 2004 Honda CRV. There we replaced the serpentine belt originally to try to get rid of a squeal under a heavy acceleration. Because we're budget mechanics, we just did the belt and not the tensioner, which most commercial mechanics are going to tell you to do both at the same time. We tried to save a couple bucks by not doing the tensioner, and it didn't quite work. So we're going back in now, and we're doing the serpentine belt tensioner as well. Just going to remove this engine cover. Give me a little more room. I'm going to unclip this power steering pump reservoir right here. I'm going to take this little bracket off that's holding this AC line. There she goes. Now I've got some room in here that I can shove this reservoir and this power steering pump when I get it loose. Now all we got to do is get this belt off. So I'm going to get my 14mm and I'm going to stick it on the bolt. You can see on the new tensioner, it's this bolt right here that I'm sticking the wrench on. I'm levering it away from the belt to relieve the pressure. So I'm just going to stick a cheater bar, big pipe, over the end of my wrench, and that should give me enough leverage. Make sure you're not pinching any power steering pump hoses or anything like that. That should give you enough slack on your belt to flip it off the pulley. See, it's not quite enough for me. Okay, I got enough slack on this. Get that belt off. I'm going to keep tension on it so it doesn't fall off the other pulleys. I don't want it to drop down, so I'm just going to hold on to it. So I can slip the belt off the pulley, the tensioner. I'm going to stick my hammer handle through this, something like that, just to keep it from falling down. Okay, now I'm going to tackle my power steering pump. Swing that out of the way. This power steering pump just has 2 bolts. Okay. So now this power steering pump can swing free. And you can see your tensioner is right here, easily accessible. Looking at the new one, I can see that it looks like I have 3 bolts. One there, one in the middle, one on the right. These are where the power steering pump bolted on. Those are not actually bolts I have to take out. Got one here. Got the one in the center. So unfortunately, I'm finding in order to get to this last bolt on the old tensioner, it's being blocked by the engine mount. So we're going to have to pop the engine mount off. So I'm going to put a jack underneath the engine, lift it up a little bit, take the pressure off, and then I'm going to remove these 3 bolts here. And most likely I'm going to have to remove the engine mount bracket off the side of the engine as well. I'm just going to put a little pressure on here, take the weight off that left engine mount. So I got my little grounding strap. Replace that bolt after I remove the wire, so I don't lose it. Customarily, engine mount bolts are freaking tight. So you're either going to want an impact gun, or you're going to want one of those breaker bars like this in order to get these suckers loose. This is a 17mm, and we'll see what my gun can do. Like butter. So I've got a 17 wrench on there, and then a big pry bar. Like that. Got to push the engine away a little bit. It's pinching. There we go. Okay, now that we got the engine mount off, I'm gonna try to sneak a 12mm in here and access that bolt. Got it. You have to do it entirely by feel. There we go. Alright, got that third bolt off, so there we go. Hiding right under there. My main concern with this tensioner is all these bumps, these raised spots. It's not creating a smooth surface for the belt to ride on. And I think that's probably where you're going to get a lot of your squealing and your belt wear. Alright, so I'm going to start with the hardest bolt, which is this one. And I'm going to lay that in here. Try to line that difficult bolt up. I'm actually using my fingers, just enough room for my fingertips to spin that bolt. Look in this socket now. Okay, I'm going to do my long center bolt. And I'm going to, if you can see this one, rotate the tensioner around until I locate the hole. There we go. Just get it snugged in there. As much as I can, I'm sort of holding on to the belt so that it doesn't fall off of all the pulleys down there unnecessarily. I got all three of my bolts started, so now I'm just going to cinch them down. Other easy one next. Alright, now the hard one. Okay. Barely even get my wrench out. Okay, we're going to put our engine mount back on. I'm just going to pry it a little bit away from the firewall. Get that to slide down. There we go. Wire back on. Okay, so now that I've got the tensioner in, just going to look down and make sure the belt is still over all my pulleys. So now I'm going to slip it off the tensioner a little bit, and I'm going to get my power steering pump in place. Still holding onto the belt. Take my bolts. Bolt number 2. Okay. The belt might not be sitting correctly farther down because I just don't quite have enough slack here. That was easy. Put this hose back in its little clip the reservoir back into the bracket. Don't forget to take out your jack from under the engine before you drive away. Alright, so there you go, new tensioner is in, and took it for a drive and the squeal is gone. So I think the culprit in the end was the bad tensioner. This bearing I think is old, as well as I more suspect these raised chunks that were making this pulley really rough, was really hard on the belt and not letting it get good friction around the pulley. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment or ask questions below.